Have you ever had a moment when everything inside you screamed to stop, when your heart whispered, it's over, and your mind tried to convince you that you've done enough, that it's okay to quit? You look around and see no light at the end of the tunnel, no applause, no recognition, only the sound of your breath, heavy with exhaustion, and the silence that reminds you how alone this road can feel. But then, somewhere deep inside you, a voice rises. It's quiet, barely audible, but it says something that changes everything. I must keep going. That whisper, that sacred defiance against the darkness, that's the start of every comeback. And if you've ever heard it inside your soul, no matter how faint, then you are not done. You are in the fight. And that is enough to change everything. Life doesn't wait for you to be ready. It doesn't ask if you're strong enough or if now is a convenient time. It simply throws challenges your way, some expected, some completely unfair. You're going to face moments where it feels like the universe is trying to break you. You'll be bent under pressure, pushed to your limits, stretched in ways you never thought possible. And it's in those exact moments, when everything in you says give up, that your true strength is forged. Because strength isn't built when things are easy. It's built when everything is hard and you refuse to surrender. You must understand that every person who has achieved greatness has felt what you're feeling right now. Doubt, exhaustion, fear, pain, but they chose to keep going. They chose not to listen to the voice of fear. They chose to bet on themselves even when they had nothing left to give. That's not luck. That's grit. That's resilience. That's power. And you have it too, even if right now it's buried under tired eyes and quiet tears. Even if the world can't see it yet, even if you've forgotten how to see it in yourself, you are stronger than your circumstances. You are braver than your doubts, and you are capable of rising again, no matter how many times you've fallen. Sometimes the hardest part of the journey is continuing without a clear reward. You keep showing up, you keep trying, you keep pouring everything you have into your dream, and it feels like nothing is changing. But growth doesn't always make noise. Progress doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes transformation is silent. Sometimes the seeds you planted long ago are growing quietly beneath the surface, and your only job is to keep watering them even when you see no evidence of life. Because one day they will break through. One day everything you've been working toward will become real. But only if you keep going. You might be tired. You might be overwhelmed. You might even feel like no one understands what you're going through. And that's okay. You're human. You're allowed to feel all of that. But you are not allowed to give up. Not on yourself. Not on your dream. Not on the life you've imagined. Because giving up won't make the pain go away. It will only replace it with regret. The kind of regret that lingers for years, whispering, what if, every time you think of what could have been. But if you keep going, if you keep pushing, one day you'll look back and be proud, not because it was easy, but because you refused to let it break you. The world won't always clap for you. Some people will doubt you. Some will laugh. Some will leave. That's part of the path. Not everyone is meant to walk with you. Some are only there to teach you how to walk alone. And when you do walk alone, when it's just you and your belief, you and your inner fire, that's when you become unstoppable. That's when you stop looking for permission and start creating your own future. You don't need a crowd to validate your worth. You just need courage. You just need vision. And you just need that fire inside that says, no matter what happens, I will rise again. Every great story has chapters of pain. Every hero has a backstory filled with struggle. What defines them is not the pain. It's the choice to keep writing their story, no matter how dark the page. And you are the author of your life. You hold the pen. So even if yesterday was filled with failure, today is a new sentence, a new chance, a new beginning. Keep writing, keep believing, keep building. There are going to be days when you want to disappear, when the weight feels unbearable, when the dream feels too far away. And on those days, I want you to remember this. Even breathing is progress. Even getting out of bed is an act of defiance. Even showing up when every cell in your body tells you to quit is a small victory. Don't underestimate the power of small victories. They become momentum. They become discipline. They become a reason to keep going when the big picture feels overwhelming. And sometimes you're not just fighting for yourself. Sometimes you're fighting for your family, for your future, for every version of you that once believed life could be better. You're fighting for the kid in you who used to dream without fear, for the adult in you who knows the price of survival, for the future in you that still dares to imagine greatness. Your fight matters. Your persistence matters. Your effort, even when unseen, is shaping a life that will one day inspire others to rise, just like you are doing now. It doesn't matter how slowly you move forward. What matters is that you don't stop. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't need every answer. You just need to take the next step, and then the next. Progress isn't perfection, it's movement. And every day that you keep moving, you are proving something to yourself, that your will is stronger than your fear, that your spirit is louder than your doubt, that your dream is more powerful than your pain. You are allowed to rest, but not to quit. You are allowed to cry, but not to give up. You are allowed to pause, but not to stop. Because somewhere down the road, the version of you that never gave up is waiting. And they are proud. They are living the life you're fighting for right now. They are walking in the reward of your effort. They are living proof that you were always enough and you always had what it takes. So if you're still breathing, there's still time. Time to grow, time to rise, time to become everything you were created to be. And every time you feel like quitting, just remember, you've come too far to only come this far. You have already survived things you thought would break you. You've already overcome days that nearly defeated you. And yet, here you are, stronger, wiser, still standing. And that is something to be proud of. Let them doubt you. Let them misunderstand you. Let them walk away. Because at the end of the day, this isn't their story. It's yours. You are the one who has to live with the consequences of giving up or the rewards of holding on. Choose the reward. Choose the legacy. Choose to keep going, even when it's hard, even when you're tired, even when no one is watching, especially when no one is watching. This is not your end. This is not your failure. This is your turning point. So rise and keep going. Because the world hasn't seen your best yet, because your story isn't finished, because you were born for this, and because somewhere deep down inside, through all the pain, all the failure, and all the silence, you still know the truth. I must keep going.